Okay, Diksha, you're on.
All right.
Yeah.
So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first session with Sujatha Mohanty. She's a very enthusiastic final year student, and she has been very active on social media like Twitter and Instagram. If you all have already been following her links, she has been uploading many notes on Materia Medica and Organon, and has been kind enough to share her notes with other students. I think it's her love for homeopathy and love for the subject that is making her take up this session and sharing some good, insightful information on organon of medicine. I hope that all of you can pick up some notes and also some information on how to study organon, and I hope that it helps you all with your examinations. So, good luck, Sujata, and we're waiting for you to start and ready to listen to you.
Should I start now?
Start.
So first of all, very good evening to everyone, and thank you so much, Karthik sir, for giving me this opportunity, and Diksha ma'am for the lovely introduction and guiding me through all this. So before starting, I just want to tell everyone that I'm like a student like you all. So I'm currently in final BHMS. So I will not say that I know everything about homeopathy and I'm the master. I'm currently in learning. So here I will just share my experiences that जो भी अभी problems मैंने अभी तक face किया है उसको कैसे clear किया है. So I will just share those. So बिफोर स्टार्टिंग आज ही वो स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा होगा आप लोग को ये टॉपिक क्या है. उसको स्टार्टिंग करने से पहले आई वांट टू शेयर समथिंग दैट जो मंत्रास मैंने अभी तक सीखा है अबाउट टू बिकम ए सक्सेसफुल होम्योपैथ. So first, don't criticize other systems. As homeopath, we always face criticism, but that does not mean we also criticize others. Just do your best, and don't criticize others because homeopathy teaches us about the coordinates, about the all the systems are interrelated. Every medical system are interrelated. So we just cannot criticize other system and go ahead. So that is not correct. So just give your best and don't criticize others. And the second point is that never have a competitive mindset with your fellow homeopath. Competitive mindset in the sense अगर हम कॉलेज में पोजीशन पाने के लिए फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड आने के लिए कंपटीशन करते हैं तो दैट्स हेल्दी. बट अगर हम एज ए होम्योपैथ कॉम्पिटिटिव माइंडसेट लाएंगे दिमाग में तो इट विल बी रॉन्ग. इससे हम कुछ नहीं सीख पाएंगे क्योंकि ऐसा होता है कि अगर हमारे पास कोई पेशेंट आता है तो हम कहते हैं दैट हाँ इस पेशेंट को मुझे ठीक करना है चाहे मुझे कुछ समझ आए या ना आए, लेकिन दूसरे को नहीं पूछना वरना उसको लगेगा दैट मुझे कुछ नहीं पता एंड उसको सब पता है. तो इट्स रॉन्ग. ऐसे कंपेटिटिव माइंडसेट कभी मत लाना. ट्राई टू लर्न फ्रॉम अदर्स. अगर आपको कुछ नहीं पता है तो उनसे सीखो, अगर आपको पता है उनको नहीं पता तो उनको सिखाओ. So never have a competitive mindset with your fellow homeopath. And the third and the most important point is that always try to remain the student of homeopathy throughout your life. अपने अंदर की जो स्टूडेंट है जो लर्नर है उसको कभी खत्म होने मत देना. ऑलवेज ट्राई टू रिमेन स्टूडेंट ऑफ होम्योपैथी थ्रू योर लाइफ. Okay, so now come to the topic. So the topic is about how to decode aphorisms and vital force and its role. Okay, so first of all, how you can study organon and why you should study organon. So आपको organon क्यों पढ़ना है and आपको कैसे पढ़ना है. So like organon of medicine is the literature of homeopathy. तो क्या होता है अगर हम सारे सिस्टम्स के एक लिटरेचर होते हैं. लाइक सपोज हमने एक न्यू फोन लिया एंड वी बॉट ए न्यू फोन एंड उसके साथ एक यूजर मैनुअल आता है जो कि जिसमें लिखा होता है दैट फोन हैज दिस फीचर्स एंड हाउ वी कैन कैसे हम उसको चला सकते हैं एंड उसकी फीचर्स ये सब लिखे होते हैं. तो वैसे ही ऑर्गेनन ऑफ मेडिसिन में आपको होम्योपैथिक की सारे फीचर्स वो बताएगा आपको. इट्स द फाउंडेशन ऑफ होम्योपैथी. अगर आपको होम्योपैथिक जानना है ना तो you have to study organon of medicine. So knowledge about any system is incomplete without knowing its literature. So you have to study Organon to know what is the actual homeopathy. Okay. So now, um, as in first year, we only got the intro parts. In syllabus, we just have the intro parts. So हम क्या करते हैं कि यार नहीं है ऑर्गेनॉन एग्जाम तो नहीं होने तो लेट्स इग्नोर दिस देख लेंगे सेकेंड ईयर में हो जाएगा लेकिन दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग बिकॉज मैंने भी यही किया था लेकिन अब सेकेंड ईयर में बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी आपको ऑर्गेनॉन समझने में एंड इसलिए ऑर्गेनम ऑफ मेडिसिन की जो इंट्रो पार्ट है लाइक हैनिमन्स लाइफ हिस्ट्री डिस्कवरी ऑफ होम्योपैथी कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ होम्योपैथी एडिशंस ऑफ ऑर्गेनॉन ग्राउंड प्लान ऑफ ऑर्गेनॉन एप्रिज्म 1 to 28 बट देयर इज नो एग्जामिनेशन लेकिन अगर एक कोर्स में आपको एक सब्जेक्ट को समझने के लिए 1 ईयर मतलब उसकी इंट्रो पार्ट को समझने के लिए आपको 1 ईयर टाइम मिल रहा है so that means that subject is that much important in that course so you have to study organon and the introduction part को कभी फर्स्ट ईयर में इग्नोर मत करना ट्राई टू रीड इट बिकॉज 1 ईयर मिल रहा है तो इतना टाइम मिल रहा है अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है आपको टू नो व्हाट इज organon so try to read organon इन फर्स्ट ईयर इंट्रो पार्ट को अच्छे से समझो तब आप जब सेकेंड ईयर में जाएंगे तो सेकेंड ईयर सिलेबस में Organon of Medicine, Aphorism 1 to 104A. And there will be examination of Organon second year, which includes first and second year syllabus. तो तब आपको फर्स्ट ईयर की वो इंट्रो पार्ट्स भी एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चंस आएंगे एंड एफोरिज्म्स सो अगर आप फर्स्ट ईयर में इसको अच्छे से इंट्रो पार्ट्स पढ़ लिए होगे ना तो सेकेंड ईयर में इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू सो एफोरिज्म्स की बात चल रही है तो व्हाट इज दिस एफोरिज्म्स सो what is this aphorisms so aphorisms kya hai aphorisms are like poems you just have to decode the aphorisms to know the entire story like कोई भी poem book हो या फिर कोई ऐसे mystery वाला book हो like हम सबको पता है like Nostradamus उन्होंने future prediction किया था उन्होंने directly कुछ नहीं लिखा उन्होंने आज 2 लाइन या 3 लाइन में कुछ लिखा है उसको डिकोड करना है तब आपको पता चलेगा कि वो क्या बोल रहे हैं so like this Hahnemann wrote the aphorisms and we just have to decode that aphorism to know कि वो उस aphorisms के थ्रू हमें क्या बोलना चाहते हैं so now how to decode aphorisms how to decode aphorisms so aphorisms को decode कैसे करना है okay so first choose the aphorisms आपको कौन सा डिकोड करना है कौन सा aphorisms के बारे में पढ़ना है तो pick one aphorism and read it 3 to 4 times then you will know that which words you all are मतलब आप समझ पा रहे हैं एंड कुछ ऐसे वर्ड्स है जो जिससे हम फेमिलियर नहीं है एंड वो डिफिकल्ट है थोड़ा समझने में तो मार्क दोज डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स देन सर्च देयर मीनिंग इन गूगल बिकॉज हम सबको पता है अभी गूगल का जमाना है एंड वी डोंट गो फॉर डिक्शनरी वी ओनली गो गूगल सो जस्ट गूगल करो उस वर्ड को एंड उसकी मीनिंग राइट दोज मीनिंग आपने मार्क किया होगा वो डिफिकल्ट वर्ड उसके नीचे उसकी मीनिंग लिखो या फिर उसी पेज पे उस वर्ड को मेंशन करके उसकी मीनिंग लिख लो then try to read that aphorism with the meaning of those words फिर आपको वर्ड की मीनिंग मिल गई तब try to read the aphorism with those words meaning okay so now you will get an idea अब आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा that वो aphorism हमें क्या बताना चाहता है then go to the reference books like you all have BK Sarkar, Nagendra Babu या फिर Ashok Kumar Das ऐसे बहुत सारे reference books है then go to the reference books वहाँ पे mention होगा that this topic this aphorism to this aphorism this topic so try to read that topic there okay now after reading thoroughly you will completely understand what Hahnemann wants to tell us through that aphorism अब आपको समझ में आ जाएगा that Hahnemann हमें क्या बताना चाहते हैं through that aphorism then you will know the complete story behind that aphorism so now you must write those points in your notes as well ऐसे पढ़ के अगर रख दोगे तो भूल जाओगे, लेकिन अगर लिख लोगे तो एग्जाम्स के टाइम पे आपको फिर से सारे प्रोसेस को स्टार्टिंग से नहीं करना पड़ेगा. यू जस्ट हैव टू open your copy and get those points and that topic. Okay. So अभी मैं examples के जरिए बताऊंगी like how to decode aphorisms. So let's decode aphorism 9 and 10. Okay. So what is the aphorism 9?
Hey, Sujatha, can I just interrupt 1 second? I just want
Yeah,
to,
ma'am.
I just want to add that aphorisms are also observations that Hahnemann made, Master Hahnemann, when he did all his studying and all his, all his experimenting and all his proving. After that, he came to the conclusion that this is the truth, and this is what he did by putting it down in the aphorisms. So that's all. I just wanted to add that one part. Yeah,
Okay, ma'am. Thank
yeah,
you, ma'am.
yeah. Carry on.
So, what is aphorism 9? So, in aphorism 9, that is, in the healthy condition of man, the spiritual vital force, autocracy, the dynamism that animates the material body, organism, rules with unbounded sway and retains all the parts of the organism in admirable, harmonious, vital operation as regards both sensations and functions, so that our indwelling, reason gifted mind can freely employ this living, healthy instrument for the higher purposes of our existence. अब इसको पढ़ने के बाद we are just getting those words which are difficult and mark those words like this. So these are the words which are not familiar to us, and so mark those words like autocracy, dynamism, sway, indwelling, rhythm gifted, living healthy instrument. So अब क्या करना है इसकी मीनिंग को लिखना है like this, that autocracy means the supreme power. Autocracy means, autocracy हमने मार्क किया है, तो autocracy means the supreme power. Then what is the meaning? Then हमने मार्क किया है about the dynamism. So what is the meaning of dynamism? That is motion. So dynamism means the motion. Then sway, sway means swing here and there. And indwelling means the permanently present. Reason gifted means the intellectual. And living healthy instrument means our body. Okay, so now again read that aphorism with this meaning. Like in the healthy condition of man, the spiritual vital force, autocracy. Autocracy means it has its own power.
Self-governing.
The dynamic means the motion that animates the material body, organism, rules with unbounded sway. Sway means swings here and there. Unbounded means it is not bounded. इसको किसी ने ऐसे बांध के नहीं रखा है, ये अपने आप मूव कर सकता है बॉडी में. Sway and retains all the parts of the organism in admirable, harmonious, vital operation as regards both sensations and functions, so that our indwelling means permanently present. Reason gifted means intellectual, that is only gifted to human beings. So reason gifted mind, intellectual mind can freely employ this living healthy instrument means our body for the higher purpose of our existence, means the work we can do for the society, for us, for our family. So that is the higher purpose of our existence. Okay. So now come to the aphorism 10. So the aphorism 10 tells us that the material organism, that is our body, without the vital force is capable of no sensations, no functions, no self-preservation. It derives all the sensations and performs all the functions of life solely by means of the immaterial being, that is vital force, that is changes to sixth edition, vital principle, which animates the material organism in health and in disease. So that is aphorism 10. So now aphorism 9 and 10 tells us about the vital force. What is this vital force? So aphorism 9 and 10 describes us about vital force. So now come to the quality of vital force. So vital force have this quality like autocratic, autonomic or automatic, spirit-like, unintelligent, dynamic, instinctive, life preserving power. तो अब इसका मीनिंग क्या है? So come to the next slide. Um, here is the meaning, that is autocratic means self power. मतलब it has its own power. उसको लगता है that I am the king of my kingdom. उसके ऊपर कोई नहीं है. It is the supreme power. So it has the self power. Okay. Autonomic और automatic means self acting. इसको किसी की help नहीं चाहिए. ये अपने आप function कर सकता है. That means autonomic or automatic. Then spirit like force means it has no mass, no volume, no state. इसको हम देख नहीं सकते. Only we can observe its actions. So it has no mass, no volume, no shape. Spirit like force. Okay. So now unintelligent. Unintelligent means don't have the intellect or don't have the thinking capacity. As our mind has the intellect, but vital force don't have that intellect mind. It is unintelligent force. Then dynamic. Dynamic means cannot be seen, only actions can be observed. Dynamic means it cannot be seen. हम इसको देख नहीं सकते, but its actions can be observed. Then instinctive means natural impulse. That is law of nature. ये law of nature को follow करता है. That means it is instinctive force. Then life preserving power. Life preserving power means if it's present, the body is living, and if it's absent, the body is dead. So, so this is the life preserving power. So, अगर हम इस सारे क्वालिटी को मिला देंगे, तो we will get a definition of vital force, which explains about everything about the vital force. That is the definition. And the vital force can be defined as autocratic, autonomic, spirit-like, unintelligent, dynamic, instinctive, life-preserving force, which animates the material body. So now, तो अब हमें तो समझ में आ गया that what is vital force. But अगर हमें कोई पूछेगा that what is this vital force you are reading, so how we can describe to a layman, a common man, what is this vital force? तो हम इसको कैसे समझा सकते हैं about this differentiation? This differentiation, healthy living body and dead body, both body have the organs like heart, lungs, stomach, kidneys, etc. But in the living body, the heart beats. But in the dead body, heart doesn't function. Heart is there, but it doesn't function. Like this, lungs breathe in air in living body, but in dead body, it doesn't function. Like stomach digests food in living body, but in dead body, it doesn't function. So that means in the living body and dead body, there is a force which acts in living body, but that is not present in dead body. So the organs are same, everything is similar, but why the living body performs and dead body does not perform? So that means there is something which helps to perform all the body organs to do their work. And so from this, it is very clear that is some force. There is some force which cannot be seen, but that force is responsible for the harmonious function of the living body. So now, like this. So we all know that this is the trinity of life: body, mind, and spirit. We all know about body and mind, but what is the spirit? This spirit is the vital force that we are talking about. That vital force, Hahnemann changes in 6th edition about vital principles, but that is the spirit. So now, ma'am, there is no slide. Ma'am,
Yeah,
there is
tell
no
me.
slides.
There's no
Slides
slide?
showing.
1 second.
No.
Hang on, let me have a look.
Okay, ma'am.
Only 27 slides are there, no?
No, ma'am, 56
50, no,
slides.
no, here there are only 27. Hold on.
Yeah, year 27.
Yeah, let me just send it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone, sorry for the interruption. We just need to upload the remaining slides. Give us just 2 minutes. So I've noticed many of you are from the northeast or the eastern parts of the country. How are you all doing with the cyclone that's been in motion the last few days, since the last one day? You can type that in the message box. Just give me a second. I'll just get Sir to upload it. Okay, hold on. So let me just add some interesting information about vital force while this is getting done. So back in college, when I was in college, we learned that vital force has been explored in different cultures around the world. It's not just in medicine, or it's not just in homeopathy. So in the history of medicine, we have studied that in different cultures, in different languages, we have learned that some form of information on vital force has existed. For example, in India, can anyone think of what it's called? It's just called prana, like how we say pranayam. So the word, I mean, it's a close interpretation. Doesn't have to be the exact meaning, but it's prana in India. In China, it's called chi. So chi is nothing but the breath, or the energy, the spiritual energy with which we all exist. That is one thing. Then in Russia, it's called aura. So aura is actually a word which originated in Greece. It's a Greek word for breath, and many times we hear the word aura when it comes to it's a spirit or energy, or you hear it even in convulsions. You see, you feel an aura before the convulsions set in. So That's where it originated. It's a sort of a spirit-like feeling. It's a sensation. It cannot be seen, but it can be felt. Different civilizations knew it in different forms, but the base meaning is the same, and that is the spirit-like dynamism that exists and keeps the body alive and functioning to its best capacity. Sujatha, I think the slides have been uploaded. You can skip to the latest one.
Yeah, yeah,
What was it? 27?
yeah, 20.
Hmm. 28. Yeah. Carry on.
So, life, the trinity of life, that is body, mind, and spirit, and that spirit is the vital force or vital principle. So, there is some memes which I added. Yeah. So, what is vital force? So, जैसे कि अभी आत्मनिर्भर word is in trend. So, it is an आत्मनिर्भर force. It is autocratic. मतलब ये अपने kingdom की king है and it has its own power. So, ये किसी के ऊपर dependent नहीं है. So, that is why it is called आत्मनिर्भर force. And like this, that hey, are you vital force? No, why? तू जरूरी सा है मुझको जिंदा रहने के लिए. We differentiate this that living body में एक force होता है and dead body में वो अगर नहीं होता तो body is called dead. So that is why it is like this. Okay. So now we know that what is vital force. So now the role of vital force in health. वो भी वही aphorisms में है like aphorisms 9 and 10. So what is the role of vital force in health? So from aphorism 9 and 10, according to aphorism 9 and 10, in a healthy living body, heart beats, lungs expand and contract, intestines carry on peristaltic movements, etc. But that healthy man neither feels the existence of his organs nor the functions carried out by them. Organs are there, but we don't feel that which organ is there. Obviously, we know anatomy, but normally we don't know that which organs are there and ये function कर रहा है. हमें इसकी कोई खबर नहीं लगती, but still they are functioning. That's why we are enjoying the harmonious condition of life. So that means all the functions are in a harmonious way, and the vital force is responsible for that harmonious condition of body. And the another point is that we are getting exposed to so many pathogenic powers every day, every time. But always we don't suffer. हम हमेशा सफर नहीं करते बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रोटेक्टिवनेस ऑफ वाइटल फोर्स रोज पैथोजेनेटिक पावर्स के साथ फाइट करता रहता है बॉडी को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए इट हैज दिस प्रोटेक्टिव पावर फॉर बॉडी एंड प्रोटेक्टिवनेस फॉर द बॉडी so that we don't suffer. So this is the homeopathic definition of health. That is, health is a normal condition of life that is characterized by a sensation of ease, of well-being, and comfort due to the harmonious playing of the vital force. So, it is health is a normal condition of life characterized by a sensation of ease and comfort. हम आराम से सारे functions body में organs अपने कर रहे हैं लेकिन हमें इसकी भनक तक नहीं लगती. So, due to the harmonious playing of the vital force. Okay. So now but this state of health, we cannot explain this state of what is the perfect state of health, or we cannot show in any laboratory. We all know the composition of cell, body parts, organs, everything we know, but we cannot say we cannot show in any laboratory what is the perfect state of health. This has to be experienced. Like अगर किसी ने कभी कोई स्वीट सी चीज मिठाई हो या फिर शुगर केन ऐसे कोई स्वीट सी थिंग टेस्ट नहीं किया हो तो हम उसको जितना भी बता दे दैट व्हाट इज द टेस्ट ऑफ स्वीटनेस उसको उसके बारे में नहीं पता चलेगा. So वैसे ही द परफेक्ट स्टेट ऑफ हेल्थ कैन नॉट बी explained, it has to be experienced. So now we know that what is the role of vital force in health. So now come to the role of vital force in disease. Hahnemann explained it in aphorism 11 to 15 that what is the role of vital force in disease. तो जैसे कि अभी डिस्कस किया that we are getting exposed to so many pathogenic powers every day, every time, but we don't suffer because our vital force fight करता रहता है. तो अगर prolonged exposure or due to stronger inimical dynamic influence, that is the miasmatic force, that is that pathogenic power. So फाइट करता रहता है. अगर प्रोलॉन्ग एक्सपोजर हो गया एंड वो वीक पड़ जाता है, तभी वाइटल फोर्स वीक पड़ जाता है एंड वो डिरेंज हो जाता है. अगर वाइटल फोर्स डिरेंज हुआ देन द नॉर्मल हार्मोनियस फंक्शन डिस्टर्ब्ड. वाइटल फोर्स अगर हेल्दी रहता है तो बॉडी के सारे फंक्शंस वो नॉर्मली हार्मोनियस वे में परफॉर्म करता है. अगर वो डिरेंज होता है देन द नॉर्मल हार्मोनियस फंक्शंस डिस्टर्ब्स. So that externally produces abnormal sensations and functions which we call sign and symptoms. So the sign and symptoms are the cries of vital force. Vital force sign and symptoms के जरिए बताता है that यार something wrong is happened and I am suffering, and वो हमें बताता है that I am suffering through these sign and symptoms. So जैसे कि flow chart, like the healthy vital force is in healthy condition, then वो डे टू डे लाइफ में बहुत सारे माइग्मेटिक फोर्स को एक्सपोज होता है. लेकिन वो प्रोलॉन्ग एक्सपोज हो गया एंड द माइग्मेटिक फोर्स इज स्ट्रॉन्गर देन द वाइटल फोर्स डिरेंज. देन इट प्रोड्यूसेस इट सोल्स, वो हमें बताता है दैट आई एम सफरिंग थ्रू साइन एंड सिम्टम्स एंड दोज साइन एंड सिम्टम्स वी कलेक्टिवली कॉल्ड दैट डिजीज. Okay. So now, what is the homeopathic definition of disease? So when the vital force deranges due to the influence of stronger miasmatic force, it externally produces signs and symptoms which we call disease. So vital force derange होता है and by the influence of stronger miasmatic force, and then वो sign and symptoms show करता है that I'm suffering, and so those sign and symptoms we collectively called the disease. So there is some advanced definition where you can completely understand what is the disease. So disease may be defined as a dynamic derangement. Derangement होता है of the vital harmony of the whole organism. Whole organism, body की whole body की vital harmony disturb हो जाती है, derange हो जाती है, which is manifested first in the sphere of sensation, that is feeling of illness. जैसे होता है ना, अगर हमें कोई डिजीज हो रहा है तो पहले हमें ये फील होता है दैट यार कुछ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, अनईजी सा लग रहा है, वो जो सिकनेस वाली फीलिंग होती है. तो फर्स्ट वो सेंसेशन के थ्रू बताता है दैट देयर इज समथिंग रॉन्ग, दैट इज द फीलिंग ऑफ इलनेस. देन इन द स्फीयर ऑफ फंक्शंस फिर हमें बताता है दैट हेडेक हो रहा है या फिर स्टोमक एक्ट हो रहा है. तो that is the then वो functional way में बताता है, that is the various functional disorder. Then in the sphere of material constituents, then cells, tissues, organs, फिर वो exactly कौन सी part पे हमें pain feel हो रहा है वो हमें पता चलता है. So first in the sphere of sensation, then in the sphere of functions, then in the sphere of organs, that is the material constituents. Okay, so this is about the role of vital force in disease. Okay, so now we understand that what is vital force, what is the role of vital force in health, what is the role of vital force in disease. So disease हो गया तब vital force क्योर करने में उसका क्या रोल है, what is the role of vital force in cure. So Hahnemann written it in aphorism 16 to 18 that what is the role of this vital force in the process of cure, process of homeopathic cure. Okay, so just we discussed that vital force always fight against the morbid force, that is the disease force, and attempt to recover from it. ये उसका हमेशा चलता रहता है. So then in acute disease conditions उसका क्या रोल होता है in cure. So non-violent acute diseases, अगर acute disease इतना serious नहीं है, non-violent है, then vital force alone can fight and return back to health. वो अपने आप फाइट करता है, फाइट बैक करता है, जीत जाता है एंड रिटर्न द सिकनेस टू हेल्थ. देन वाइटल फोर्स इन वायलेंट एक्यूट कंडीशन, अगर वो एक्यूट कंडीशन बहुत ज्यादा सीरियस है एंड लाइफ के लिए डेंजर है, तो वाइटल फोर्स बीइंग अनइंटेलिजेंट. जैसे कि हैनीमैन ने हमें बताया है that it is an unintelligent force. उसके पास वो थिंकिंग कैपेसिटी नहीं है that what is right and what is wrong. So in the process of recovery, it sacrifices a vital energy or vital organs to the disease force. Like in poliomyelitis, we lost the function of the legs. So that is why in the process of recovery, body को बचाने के लिए, life को save करने के लिए, it sacrifices a vital energy or vital organs to the disease force. Then, in some serious acute conditions where vital force alone cannot fight and return back to health, it shows us the signs and symptoms and tells us that I'm suffering and vital force needs that medicinal aid. वो बताता है that I need medicinal aid to overcome this disease force and return back to health condition. So, in the chronic cases, these are about the acute cases. In the chronic cases, vital force cannot overcome this chronic miasmatic force alone. क्रोनिक माइग्मेटिक फोर्स से वो कभी अलोन फाइट बैक करके वापस नहीं आ सकता हेल्थ कंडीशन में. इट ऑलवेज नीड्स मेडिसिनल एड. सो नाउ कम टू द रोल ऑफ वाइटल फोर्स इन द होम्योपैथिक क्योर. ये जो प्रोसेस ऑफ क्योर है उसमें वाइटल फोर्स क्या रोल प्ले करता है? लाइक वाइटल फोर्स shows its sufferings through sign and symptoms. जैसे कि हमने अभी डिस्कस किया that sign and symptoms are the cries of vital force. Through these vital force tells us that I'm suffering. तो वो अपनी sufferings बताता है through sign and symptoms. Vital force unintelligent है, but the physician is being intelligent based on this symptom totality. वो sign and symptoms की totality बनाता है and select the most similar remedy, the most stimulum. Then this remedy will produce a similar and stronger medicinal disease. We all know that in homeopathy, the remedy we select for that disease must have the capacity to produce that similar disease, similar symptoms in a healthy human being. So, the homeopathic remedy वही करता है that this remedy will produce a similar and stronger medicinal disease. तब vital force passive रहता है. तब vital force remains passive and वो उस medicinal disease को अपना काम करने देता है. Then क्या होता है that this medicinal disease on its primary action removes the weaker miasmatic disease. तब medicinal disease और miasmatic disease की fight होती है. उसमें medicinal disease strong होता है तो वो remove कर जाता है the weaker miasmatic disease. Now the vital force is acutely suffering from the medicinal disease. So this medicinal disease is artificial because a physician gives this and we always give the minute dose and it has a limited period of action. So that the medicinal disease weak हो जाता है and now vital force becomes active. अब vital force active हो जाता है and on its secondary action it removes this medicinal disease. So understand through this flow chart that we give an homeopathic remedy. It produces similar yet stronger medicinal disease, which in its primary action removes the weaker miasmatic disease. Then the vital force is only suffering from the medicinal disease and that medicinal disease being artificial is removed by the vital force on its secondary action. Then vital force is free from both the medicinal disease and the miasmatic disease and remains to its healthy condition. So in this way, vital force becomes free from both miasmatic disease and medicinal disease and restores the healthy condition. So what is the homeopathic definition of cure? So about cure, it is written in aphorism 2 that the highest ideal of cure is rapid, gentle and permanent restoration of health. Rapid मतलब quickly, जितने जल्दी हो सके हमें पेशेंट को ठीक करना है. Gentle ऐसे ठीक करना है जैसे उसको कोई हार्म ना पहुंचे, उसको कोई तकलीफ ना हो. दैट इज जेंटल एंड परमानेंट रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ हेल्थ. उसको परमानेंटली रिस्टोर करना है हेल्थ कंडीशन को. टेम्पररी कुछ दिन के लिए ठीक हो जाएगा फिर वापस आएगा तो दैट इज नॉट क्योर. यू हैव टू क्योर परमानेंट रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ हेल्थ और रिमूवल एंड एनिहिलेशन ऑफ द डिजीज इन इट्स होल एक्सटेंट. डिजीज को जड़ से उखाड़ के फेंकना है. That is this removal and annihilation of the disease in its whole extent. in the shortest, जितने कम time में हो सके, in the shortest, most reliable and most harmless way, patient को कोई हार्म ना पहुंचे उसका ध्यान रखते हुए सिंपल रेमेडी देना है on easily comprehensible principles. जो प्रिंसिपल्स हमारे होम्योपैथिक में है उस प्रिंसिपल्स को फॉलो करते हुए क्योर करना है. सो this is the definition of cure. That is the homeopathic definition of cure. That is the highest ideal of cure is rapid, gentle, and permanent restoration of health or removal and annihilation of the disease in its whole extent in the shortest, most reliable, and most harmless way on easily comprehensible principles. So, so our aim is always this, which is written in aphorism 1, that the physician's high and only mission. High means the high and low wala high nahi. High means the first priority, the topmost priority
Topmost.
of as a physician, the topmost priority and the only priority, high and only mission is to restore the sick to health. वो जो sickness condition हुआ है vital force का उसको healthy condition में restore करना है. That is called cure. To cure, as it is termed, which is mentioned in the organon of medicine, which is our principle, as it is termed. So अब हमें पता चला that what is vital force, what is its role in health, disease and cure. But why as a homeopath we should know what is vital force, its role. So what is the importance of knowledge? इसकी practical utilities क्या है of vital force to a homeopath? So the practical utilities are, so first of all we know the cardinal principles of homeopathy. उसमें एक principle है about the theory of vital force. So we have to know that cardinal principle of homeopathy, the theory of vital force. So it helps to understand a man as a whole. It gives us idea what is the relation between body and mind. So we have to know what is vital force to understand a man as a whole. It helps to understand the dynamic concept of health, disease and cure. जैसे अभी हमने डिस्कस किया that what is the role of vital force in health, disease and cure. So it helps to understand the dynamic concept of health, disease and cure. It helps to individualize a person. Person को मतलब 5 लोग बैठे हैं तो उनमें से एक पर्सन को इंडिविजुअलाइज करने में वाइटल फोर्स ही काम आता है. तो यू हैव टू नो व्हाट इज वाइटल फोर्स टू इंडिविजुअलाइज द पर्सन. It gives us to single simple remedy at a time. It guides us to single simple remedy at a time. Then it helps us to understand the drug dynamization. It helps to understand the importance of minimum dose. ये आपको बाकी सारे एप्लीकेशंस में पता चलेगी बट तब आपको वाइटल फोर्स को ही रिलेट करना होगा वो सारे एप्लीकेशंस समझने के लिए. So vital force is the base to note the drug dynamization, what is the minimum dose, what is the concept of myosomes, what is chronic myosomes, what is acute myosomes. All these based on the role of vital force. Vital force को समझना होगा. It explains the modus operandi of cure. That is how homeopathic cure takes place. So through vital force, like we all discussed that how homeopathic cure takes place and what is the role of vital force. Then the most important point, only because of this theory of vital force, homeopathy can be called as the holistic system of medicine that gives importance to both body and the life force. So vital force सिर्फ होम्योपैथिक में ही है जैसे कि ट्रिनिटी ऑफ लाइफ like the body, mind, and spirit. That spirit is the vital force. So homeopathic teaches us that what is vital force. Our system is based on this theory of vital force. So that's why homeopathic different from other system on the basis of vital force. So that is why it is called holistic system of medicine that gives importance to both body and the life force. That is the vital force. Okay. So that is it. So that is it. I hope you all understand the concept of vital force. I tried my best to explain to you on the easy way. I just want to share one name which I added and forgot that slide. Okay. So that is it. That what is organon for homeopaths? That is the parampara, pratishtha, and anushasana. So इसी से ही आप समझ जाओगे दैट ऑर्गेनम ऑफ मेडिसिन आपको क्यों पढ़ना है होम्योपैथिक के लिए. So that is all I want to say. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, thank you, Sujatha. That was a very good introduction and explanation on vital force. So, for all of you who have any queries, any doubts, you can use this opportunity to ask her, and she'll try and clear it to the best. You may type. I think you can type your questions in the text box, conversation box. Anything from an exam point of view, from a Viva point of view, or something for you to understand even in the clinical basis, something that you might have come across during your clinical classes or through your practicals, and you think you can apply this information there for your better understanding. Yes, I think we have a question. What is footnote? I think we come
Footnote is
across a lot
like,
of footnotes in Organon medicine, and many times we have to pay attention to them also. So yeah, carry on.
so footnote is like जैसे aphorisms है उसको decode करना है वैसे ही कुछ ऐसे things है ऐसे words है जिसको aphorisms में ऐड किया है लेकिन उसकी explanation footnotes में दिया गया है वैसे ही हैनीमन ने footnotes में बताया है about the thing and it is equally important like the aphorisms.
Okay, so I'll just add footnote is also something that is an additional piece of information to the aphorism, maybe through an example or through some experience that Hahnemann would have had, and it probably helps explain the aphorism a little better. For example, when in later aphorisms he talks about primary actions, secondary actions. He gives a small example for us to understand better in his footnote. For example, he says when you take a little coffee, what primary action it has on the body and what secondary action it has. So that is included in the footnote. It's not the main aphorism, but it's a little additional or a side information that helps you understand the aphorism better. Yeah, so the next question is from Arpana Raj. Ma'am, what is the correlation or difference between vital force and immunity? So right now, immunity is a very burning topic thanks to COVID. So we should all address that topic in detail. Sujatha, if you can tell us the difference between vital force and immunity.
So, like I mentioned, that vital force. So, what is health to the vital force? So, अगर vital force is in a normal condition, is in a healthy condition, then the body immunity will be in a normal condition. So, vital force and immunity both are correlated with each other.
Yes. Shall we go to the next one, or are you done?
Yeah, done, ma'am.
Okay, so immunity is mostly sometimes developed. It's not vital force is something that you're born with, and it helps preserve health, preserve the health of the individual. Whereas immunity acts in the face of a disease. It is developed. You probably have to face a derangement once to develop the immunity. That is the difference between vital force and immunity. And immunity requires more of a physical it requires action on the physical plane. For example, it needs antibodies, it needs cells, it needs rbcs, wbcs, whereas vital force is more of a spirit like energy. It doesn't have any material uh, factors to help it work. Next question is, in the secondary action of vital force, how does one remove medicinal diseases? So I think Ajay, no, Ajay is talking about secondary action, secondary opposite action. So in that, how does one remove the medicinal disease? Is what he's asking.
vital force in secondary actions remove the medicinal disease,
Hmm.
like um, like I discussed that we all are getting exposed to so many pathogenic powers day-to-day life, and vital force fights with it and try to recover from it, and so like this. But when we administer medicine, so medicine produces a medicinal disease,
Hmm.
and first vital force remains passive because it alone can't fight back to that miasmatic force. So ये passive रहता है and medicinal disease को act करने देता है. But जब मेडिसिनल डिजीज की एक्शन खत्म हो जाती है, तब वाइटल फोर्स बिकम एक्टिव एंड इसको कोई भी डिजीज बॉडी में नहीं चाहिए, कोई भी डिजीज फोर्स बॉडी में नहीं चाहिए, इसलिए वो उसकी जो ऑपोजिट एक्शन में मेडिसिनल डिजीज के साथ फाइट बैक करता है एंड उसको रिमूव करता है. एंड मेडिसिनल डिजीज आर आर्टिफिशियल, वी एडमिनिस्टर दैट मेडिसिन टू क्रिएट दैट डिजीज. सो अगर हम डोज कम कर देंगे, मेडिसिन बंद कर देंगे, तब मेडिसिनल डिजीज अपने आप रिमूव हो जाएगी एंड वाइटल फोर्स की रोल होगी उसको रिमूव करने की.
Okay. Okay. Next question. What is it? What is the exact difference between vital force and vital principle?
So force means it's like the physical things, force, ये सब हो जाता है. तो that vital principle means that principle which उसके चारों ओर लाइफ चलती है. So life the principle है. That is why he called it changes it to vital principle in the 6th edition. So the actions are same, but it's just that we understand that it's not a force like a physical force. It's not a physical force. It's the principle through which life works, around which life works.
Okay. Next question. Why is it important to remember the number of aphorisms when we now understand it properly? So I think only a student should answer that. Why is it important to remember the number of aphorisms?
For for Viva exams, class में teachers ask बोलते ना what is aphorism,
Yeah.
what aphorism this is mentioned. So you have to answer that.
I think it's just proof of Master Hahnemann's hard work, no? When he sat and wrote the entire book through so much of experimenting and so much of experience. I think it's our way of honoring him by remembering the number of aphorisms. But don't get stressed over it. It's not that difficult. It stays in your mind. Once the exam is over, you can move on to the next topics. You don't have to worry about the number of aphorisms after that. So, yeah, the next question. Can we say that vital force during a disease state is a person fallen on the ground and our intelligently selected homeopathic medicine acts like a strong hand to rise him up? Okay, so this is like an example used to describe the situation. So, vital force during disease is a person fallen on the ground, and the homeopathic medicine which is selected is a strong hand to pick him up or raise him. Can you elaborate or can you give a little more detail on that, Sujata? I mean, you can just agree or whatever, give your opinion on that.
Yeah, we can absolutely call that vital force is a disease state,
Hmm.
and if a person falling on the ground and our intelligent selected homeopathic medicine acts like a strong hand to rise him. अगर कोई गिर गया है तो उसको उठाने के लिए मेडिसिन, तभी तो वो हमें बताता है थ्रू साइन एंड सिम्टम्स दैट आई एम सफरिंग एंड मुझे हेल्प चाहिए. So that is the medicinal aid. So, yeah, I agree.
Okay, so there's another question. I want to know about acute and chronic miasm. I think this is a more detailed topic. I think it has to be dealt with separately. We'll have another session on that. Right now, we're only talking about the introduction to vital force. So, question is by Mamta Sahu. Please keep in mind, we'll deal with it in another
Yeah.
session in detail. Next question. Why does miasmatic disease get replaced by medicinal disease instead of getting added on? So instead of having them both side by side, why is it being replaced by medicinal disease? Yeah, you can answer that. No?
So so in aphorism, so similar disease and dissimilar disease जो aphorisms में mention है, उसमें इसका answer है that why does miasmatic disease get replaced, because body में एक साथ दो disease नहीं रह सकते. जो stronger है वो weaker को हमेशा dominant करके रखता है, उसको remove करता है, try to remove it. So that medicinal disease जो हम देंगे उसकी जो dose होगी, potency होगी, वो so that वो body में जाके एक strong medicinal disease produce करेगी, so that it will remove the weaker miasmatic disease, and it has to be similar to that miasmatic disease to remove it.
Also, the vital force is capable of taking the impression of only one disease at a time. It cannot take the impressions of more than one disease. So, like she said, the stronger has to replace the weaker. Again, medicinal disease is a temporary situation. It disappears or dissipates on its own after that. Okay, next question. If vital force is the base of homeopathy or health system, then what is the role of our own body defense system and physiology? Is vital force materialistic or only can be experienced by an individual?
It is the immaterial force.
Hmm.
It is mentioned in aphorism that it is the immaterial force. We cannot observe it. We just observe its action. We cannot see it. इसको हम नहीं देख सकते. Only उसकी action observe कर सकते हैं. It's an immaterial being.
Yes. Okay. So Aishwarya Sahu has come back to ask us about the miasmatic and the medicinal disease. She's got one more question. She says there is complex disease which can also be produced where two diseases are mixed. So how is that possible? Is what she's asking.
No, there is no two diseases are mixing. We just the sign and symptoms are too complicated, and we describe it as मतलब अलग-अलग disease बता देते हैं. That is a different disease, and that is a different disease. No, the vital force is suffering, and the sign and symptoms are so much and so complicated that we differentiate it to that there is a two or three disease and complex disease, but nothing like that.
Okay. Also, medicinal disease. What happens is during medicinal aggravation, the patient's the state of well-being is not disturbed. They can continue to live, or they can continue to carry on with their daily routine or with their functions without feeling too much of a disturbance. That's when you know it is a medicinal aggravation. Next question is, what if miasmatic disease is severe and then there is medicinal aggravation? Will it not be dangerous? Again, we are talking about miasmatic disease and medicinal aggravation, the existence of both. So, if the medicinal aggravation is also occurring with a severe miasmatic disease, then what will happen is what the question is.
No, it will not be dangerous because in homeopathic medicinal aggravation, it is good sign that medicine is working, and it is just the latent symptoms, latent sora जो myxome से वो sign and symptoms produce करता है, so that it will not be dangerous.
Okay. Next question is, it is case where the disease is dissimilar, which are equal in strength. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question. Could you type it again? Is it possible? Or Sujatha, if you were able to understand the question, can you answer that?
It is the case where the disease is dissimilar, which are equal in strength. So अगर
Okay,
equal in strength,
okay, that
so
is I think that is a statement he's
हाँ,
making. Yeah, tell.
so the stronger one will always remove the weaker one, which is the nature's law of cure in
Yes.
aphorism 26.
Shall I move on to the next one?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, in case of artificial chronic disease, how can the vitality of the person be restored? Or how will vital force play a role here? Artificial chronic disease.
so artificial chronic disease is the side effects of allopathic medicine. मेडिसिन की साइड इफेक्ट होती है, तो इसको हम क्रोनिक हो जाती है वो डिजीज, तो हम इसको आर्टिफिशियल क्रोनिक डिजीज बोलते हैं. एंड कैन यू आंसर दिस?
What happened? See,
कैन
artificial
यू
chronic.
आंसर?
No, I know. I think this has to be. We're going to deal with this question in the next session. It's not. This is not the only session on Organon. So today, it's better if we can take queries on only vital force and its introduction. Then she will deal with the secondary. The secondary action, primary action, the different types of diseases, that is going to be dealt with. That's going to be dealt with in the next few sessions to come. So if you can just stick to today's topics, then probably we can answer it better. Any more questions? Yeah. Can we take allopathic medicine and homeopathic medicine together? Yes, you can. As a practitioner, I can tell you that yes, you can. Uh, but the only thing is, it's not advisable to load your body with too many different kinds of medicines, only because you have to give your body the time and the opportunity for it to react and for it to fight back the disease. But suppose you're taking, for example, if you're taking medicines for high blood pressure or for diabetes or for cholesterol, you can continue with those. And say you have an allergy or you have some other acute disease for which you want to be treated with homeopathically, yes, you can. They're not going to interfere with each other. But I would not advise you to take medicines for the same complaint from allopathy and homeopathy, because it is a big strain on the body itself. You have to give it its place and time to act. You can give allopathy or you can give homeopathy. You can't give both, because it's not fair to burden the body. The vital force can only take the imprint of so many external forces. That's my answer to that question. This webinar was awesome. Thank you so much. So good start, Sujata. I hope that you can continue with many more sessions. In case we have not answered your questions in a satisfactory way, it's only because we have to cover those topics in the sessions to come. We request you to be patient and wait for a few more awesome webinars to happen. And hopefully we can be regular with it and have them once a week. And we hope to see you all repeatedly. Webinar was very nice. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you so much, students. And I hope it's been of some benefit to you all. And I think we can present the next set of aphorisms and the next set of topics in the sessions to come. And we will try our best to cover all the topics that you want cleared, because we can understand that these things will be covered in your examinations. So, and if at all there is any specific topic that you want to be covered in these sessions, please let us know. Yes, it opened a new way to understand and decide the aphorisms. Very good. So yes, those notes were very helpful, and let's hope that it helps you in the exams in the days to come. Decode, not decide. All right. So yes. So, Sujata, there's a request to cover susceptibility and miasms in detail. Yes, miasms, I think, should be a separate class on its own, because it's a very detailed and a very interesting topic. Also very important, both from exam as well as practitioner's point of view. So, and one on posology. Yes, that's also very important. Take potency selection. It is very tricky while practicing. I agree. Even after 12 years of being in practice, I still think it is tricky. All right. Should we make a note of whatever topics need to be they're requesting to cover? Susceptibility, miasms, posology, potency selection, philosophy. What topics in philosophy? Anything in particular? Because there are at least 3 books that we can study from. So if there are any particular topics that you'd like to cover in philosophy, posology is being mentioned many times. So posology is going to be covered. Miasms will be covered. Can anybody or any of you mention the books, the authors that you all refer to when you study these topics? 12 Observations of Kent. That's also very important. Yeah, Kent's Philosophy is a very good book. Herbert Roberts and Stuart Close. Okay, you've covered all the 3 authors that we all study from. So maybe we can stick to these authors and try to cover from those books itself. So I think posology is everybody's favorite topic for the next time. Yeah. And 12 Observations of Kent. It's also it comes as a 10-mark question, I think, in the exams. It used to come during my
But
time. I don't know how it is now.
ma'am, I'm getting 20 mark questions on
Oh,
this
20 mark.
topic.
Okay, it's changed to 20 marks. Huh? Okay. So, yeah. Yes, we'll cover these topics in the days to come. Biochemic theory. Okay. Okay, 15 marks. That's even worse. At least in my time, it was 10 marks. All right. So, we'll cover it in detail then. Is that all? Would anybody else like to ask anything or would like to add anything? All right. So I think we can close today's chat, and I hope you all had a good session with Sujata. We will post any further updates on the next session with the registration. So kindly register for the next session when it is out, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, and good night to all of you. General pathology of homeopathy. Okay. Make a note of that also.